Hello everyone, it is lovely to be here. I am just... Hello. Everybody, it is wonderful to be here for my free live channeled transmission called Finding Your Center on this fabulous day, which is also coincidentally on the 222 portal, so 22nd of February 2023. So I'm just going to give everyone a couple of minutes to come on. And just let me know, for those of you that are on, whether you can hear me okay before we get started. Oh, fabulous. Hey, Mama. Beautiful. Lovely to have you in here. Thanks for letting me know. So, just going to wait a couple more moments. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. So far, beautiful weather here in Perth, and yeah, we've been really lucky with the weather over here of late, so hopefully wherever you are, you also are enjoying some beautiful weather as well. Okay. And of course, for those of you that can't make it to this live, this recording will remain on my business page in the Quantum Healer for those of you that want to watch the replay and still get, of course, all the benefits of the energy transmission as well. So what we might do then is get started. So I've decided that I'm going to do this transmission in 3 parts. The first stage is going to be talking a little bit about the energies at the moment. Oh, yep, and we're on. Talking about the energies at the moment of what's going on in the field, in the collective right now. And also, of course, with this 222 portal, what that actually means for us also. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about finding your center in times of chaos. So different ways we can do this, and even what does that actually mean? To be honest, what am I even talking about when I say finding your center? And the third part is going to be a beautiful meditation journey that I will be taking you all on. Quite similar to what I do in the meditation group here in Busselton in Perth. So I'm going to run you through that process and through a really beautiful meditation so you can receive even more of these beautiful energies that are coming through. So let's talk a little bit about, my heart. Let's talk a little bit about the energies that are coming through at the moment. So very, very intense. We are really moving into like a light stream, you could almost call it. So it feels very much like everything is very accelerated at the moment. I said this in a video yesterday. It really feels like the fast forward button is now on, and it's all systems go. We are locked in, we are loaded, the destination is set. So we're really going through a process right now, I feel, of, and I don't know whether any of you guys are feeling this, like quite a deep cellular purge of a lot of, you know, icky, stale, stuck energy from our past that is literally no longer conducive for our growth. We don't need it anymore. It's time to let it all go. It's literally just baggage now. We don't need the extra baggage. We don't need the extra luggage. We're just going as we are in our beautiful bodies of light. So, of course, this energy needs to be released from our systems in order to let more of this light in. So if you're feeling a little bit maybe overwhelmed or a little bit anxious or unsure, that's all perfectly normal at the moment, because we are going through this really deep process currently. So even if you've got headaches or you know, even gut health issues, just understand that it's your body doing its thing, what it needs to do. So of course, where you store energy and trauma in your system is where you may be feeling this even more than normal. So being really kind to ourselves, just knowing that we are in the middle of a very deep process, and you know, these things take time. As I've said before as well, we are bringing our physical body with us this time, and we are becoming more crystalline in structure, which means all of our systems, all of our DNA, everything is being upgraded to a much higher frequency and vibration of light. So with this in the back of our minds, it kind of makes sense if you're feeling a little bit off or not your normal self at the moment. Because of course what we're moving into is, well, we're not going to be our normal selves, we're going to be our full multi-dimensional selves. So there is a lot shifting, churning, moving collectively in the field, and it's really important to remember that everyone is going through this. So, you know, if people are a little bit snappy or a little bit short or with you, or you know, behaving a little bit out of the norm for them, then you know, it's really about cutting them a bit of slack too, and understanding that we're all in this process together. We're all on the journey together, and you know, how people react and respond to this is maybe slightly different to how you are. So, you know, once again, viewing things through the eyes of compassion and love and understanding for one another. So that's a little bit, oh, my heart. Ooh, it's going to be a beautiful heart opening activation and meditation today, I feel, which is, you know, the whole purpose of the journey that we're on at the moment, activating these higher aspects of our hearts so we can really open ourselves even more to love, and which is the truth of who we really are. So the 222 energies, what's this about? So the number 222, it's such a beautiful time to have this session, based around new opportunities. So new opportunities for growth, which is being reflected back to us through the energies in the collective at the moment. So that's the aim of the game here. You know, the more that we release energetically, it's like we're purifying our vessels, our bodies, to bring in this new beautiful light. And of course, as more light comes in and to us and is igniting our DNA and reawakening dormant DNA within us, of course this is going to open us up to new opportunities for growth and to explore a little bit more of what is truly available for us here in this lifetime. You know, this is, I've said it before, a really incredible time to be here on the planet, and you know, you're not here by accident. You're here for a reason, and maybe the reason is to experience this amazing, amazing growth and journey of the human body becoming light once more. So maybe that's why you're here, and if so, then you're definitely here at the right time. So new opportunities for growth, it's about manifesting miracles in our lives. So making the seemingly impossible possible. You know, what is actually possible for us, not defined by parameters that have been set by us through outside agencies, as they like to do, but by our own parameters of growth. And you know, it's just that one little step further out of the comfort zone, seeing what is truly possible for you, what you can actually accomplish, and you know, dream big, go for it. You know, all the doors are opening up now for us. They're all opening. So yeah, definitely manifesting miracles. And as I said, the seemingly impossible, you know, it is all possible for us here in this lifetime. And we're definitely on that journey, and we're going to see more and more of this as time goes on. So definitely about that. It's about faith. It's about trust within ourselves, you know, believing in ourselves, really starting to open ourselves up even more to see the truth of who we really are. You know, I've spoken about this a little bit before as well, about with the energies that are coming down, what's happening is it's unlocking more of our ancient codes, our lineages, our DNA, our cellular memories, let's put it that way, to allow ourselves to open up even more to our multidimensional nature. So this is about our previous incarnations, potentially future incarnations, and how they all blend and merge together. I know at the end of last year I was doing a lot of sessions about clearing the Akash, you know, our Akashic records. So all of our lifetimes are essentially cumulative. You know, we come here to learn specific things, and a lot of them have been karmically based, meaning, you know, everything's got to be in balance. So in some previous incarnations, and myself included, I have very much wanted to experience the dark. You know, I haven't been love and light through all of my incarnations. There's been ones that I've been very, very dark, and I needed to experience those incarnations and experience the darkness so I could fully understand the light. So it's only through these experiences is how we grow, and how we gain greater understanding of the true nature of our reality and our lifetime. So so this goes back to the faith and trust, and knowing that you know, as these memories unlock for us and we begin to access more information about these lives that have been cumulative, this lifetime, I feel, is very much about bringing them all back into balance, into harmony, into alignment. So so it's more like a divine balance that's going on, a balancing within our divinity, within all of us. So our darkness, our light, our masculine, our feminine aspects, all of these coming back and merging to become one unified field within ourselves again. So interestingly, yeah, a lot of the sessions that I was doing was very much about wiping the karmic slate clean, and particularly after what happened at Uluru as well on the December solstice, which was where all the timelines converged. The reset button was pressed, which I've spoken about before, but that's really where we find ourselves now, which goes back to the idea that really anything is possible for us in this lifetime. You know, it always makes me think about how one of the things that we've been taught is that seeing is believing. However, I believe the opposite is true, and believing is seeing. So we're in for some very, very exciting times, manifesting miracles, faith and trust in the process that we're in. You know, there is a grand divine plan that has been orchestrated millennia ago, you know, and it's about really allowing ourselves to trust that, you know, to trust that divine plan, because what we're going to move into is some times of chaos. And it's important for us to remember that chaos always precedes change. So on a collective level for humanity, this is going to be a necessary step. It's a necessary step so that the energies can acclimatize and balance out again, and so that more and more of us can begin to reawaken to the truth of who we are. You know, I liken, you know, I call it like breaking out of the matrix. The way I see the matrix is like all the layers of conditioning, program, beliefs that, you know, it's like we basically incarnate here and we're indoctrinated into a specific way of life. And well, I'm not going to say unfortunately, because obviously everything happens for a reason, but when we came down, the indoctrination process has been based on a lot of falsehood and lies, essentially. So, and very cleverly so that we don't understand the true nature of who we are and how powerful we really are. Because when we are able to access and remember all of our multi-dimensionality, then we can't be controlled. We don't need to be controlled. We will inherently know and innately remember all of the different facets about ourselves and what it is we came here to be and do and give back to the planet and humanity. So this is also the process that Gaia is going through at the moment. Pachamama, our beautiful planet, she is a consciousness. She is alive, you know, and we think about her journey and, you know, what she's endured over the years and centuries, let's call it that. And so everything moves in cycles. So now we're moving into this new cycle, which is a new golden age of enlightenment. So such an incredible time to be here. The energies are really, really amping up for us now. And it's going to be really, really interesting, I feel, over the next year, 2 years. You're already starting to see it. We're starting to see little snippets of things not making sense anymore, you know, in the mainstream playground, let's call it that, or arena. You know, it's like they're starting to trip up on their own lies, You know, there's only so many lies that you can spin until it becomes virtually impossible to be able to keep these stories running without tripping over yourself. So that's what we're going to start to see, and we're starting to see it now. So stories coming out where people have different opinions about what's happening. You can't really work out what's happening. No one really knows. Someone's saying this, someone's saying something else, and none of the stories match. So, which is really, really beautiful, because then we get to start questioning. So, what is that about? Well, if they don't know, who does? You know, and what's the purpose of this story in the first place? And who's creating this story? Who's writing these stories? So that is, for me, that was the first stage of my reawakening, was questioning everything, you know, and searching within your heart. You know, we've been so conditioned to follow the brain, the logical thinking, right? Also very clever, because where we're going, it's not logical. It's not logical. It involves imagination, it involves journeying through the heart, it involves visualization, it involves opening up the third eye and opening up, more importantly, the heart, which I call the feeling brain, your heart. So much more important, the heart is a navigation tool for the soul. So this is the shift, this is what we're moving into, is quietening this, all the chatter, you know, but it's not logical. How can that be true? To following the heart, the innate knowing and wisdom, because it's already inside of you, and listening to that. So instead of thinking about things, we're feeling them. How does it feel? You know, there's a lot of people that are in positions of power right now that are saying a lot of things to us, and we've put them in positions of power based on trust, based on, well, sometimes because not really many other options, but ideally we've elevated them to a level or position of trust, and it's becoming more and more apparent that you know, some of the people don't have our best interests at heart. They just don't. They're very much involved in something much, much bigger than you know, what we've previously been led to believe. So one of the ways that I have now learned to determine whether someone is speaking the truth or not is not by the words they're saying, it's by how does it feel. Because let's face it, people can say anything. People do say anything. But it's about the intention behind it, and everything carries an energy and an energy signature. So the more we can begin to tune into the energy behind or underneath, let's say, what people are saying, the clearer a picture you can get about whether they are actually trustworthy or not, or whether they are actually speaking the truth, or once again just fabricating another narrative. So the purpose of today's session is really looking at finding your center in all of this, because let's face it, it's a little bit crazy. It's going to continue to get crazier. So finding your center, what does that actually mean? So it means what I've just been talking about. It's going within. It's not going without. It's not looking for the answers out here. Oh, this person's got the answers for me. This person's got the answers for me. Oh, they'll be able to tell me what to do. We're moving beyond that now. We're moving into understanding and knowing that you've already got that inside of you. You don't need any more to seek the answers from outside of you. And the way we do it is by tuning in through the heart, because your soul is eternal. Your soul already knows. It knows all of the answers to the entire universe. It's got everything. Your body, your cells have all of the innate wisdom and knowledge carried from all of your ancestors. It's all inside of you already. And this, I feel, is the more people that can begin to tap into this within themselves and practice doing this. This is what I feel will be the tipping point when more of us realize we don't actually need someone telling us what to do. We don't need people, looking out for our welfare and our own interests, because we are perfectly capable of doing that ourselves. We don't need that anymore. It's kind of like, I call spiritual ascension kind of like we grow up. We grow up. We're not kids in the playground anymore. We don't need the adults to tell us what to do anymore, because we have grown up. We've grown into ourselves, and we've pulled in all of these other aspects of our higher selves that have been separated, and we're bringing all of that back. So we already know, we know innately all of the answers. So finding your center is about that. It's about going inside of you. You are your own authority. You are your own authority. It's that simple. Anything outside of that is something that has been created not for your benefit, but for something or someone else's. It's that simple. This is where that trust comes in, the trust of being able to open up and access these parts of ourselves, and knowing it's already in there. It's just clearing away the debris, dead cells, stagnant energy, so that we can go in and we can find it and bring it back out again, to open it up like a 1,000 petal lotus flower, opening it up again. Okay, because it's all been shut down. It's all been shut down for a very specific reason, so that a handful of people can have power over us, and which is very, very clever. Very clever. The whole thing is very clever. However, when we begin to see and more importantly feel that we are the source of our own safety and security, we're already safe. There's nothing to fear. That's another story that is just continually perpetuated, so that we don't see our own true power. There's nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing. So very clever that, we're kept in this spin cycle of feeling unsafe, unsupported, the world is unsafe, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to be okay? Of course you are. Because we create that for ourselves. And this is about coming back to center. So some of the things you can do to bring yourself back inwards. I've said this a lot. One of the most important things to do is turn off your mainstream news. The television, right? Programming central. Oh, that's the main hub, of programming. You're not safe. The world's not safe. We're all doomed. Look out. Be careful. We'll look after you. Come with us, and we'll keep you safe. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. That is a huge one. So that leads me on to, what are you ingesting? Now, when I say ingesting, it's not just about food. It's not just about water. It's like, what are you actually reading, watching, viewing, absorbing from your environment? So it goes back to mainstream news, of course. When I watch the mainstream news, which is not very often, but if I do, basically I just invert everything they're saying, because the opposite is true. The opposite is true. So it's kind of handy like that too, because you go, oh, if I just flip it, oh, okay, that's the truth. And so much of what's on there is just stories that, you know, are literally designed to keep us playing small, to keep us feeling powerless, so we don't understand our true worth and who we actually are. So very clever system once again. So what are you ingesting? What are you watching? Now it's really easy. You know, you've got the flip side of this as well, because there's a lot of stuff coming out now. A lot of stuff through, you know, underground channels, not the mainstream channels. And some of it, you know, it's like, it's actually getting difficult to identify what is the truth. You know, there's a lot of people jumping onto this conspiracy and spiritual bandwagon, and just now we're just bombarded with stuff, and maybe some of it actually has very little merit either. So it's very easy to watch things and be, you know, sucked down the rabbit hole. I call it like going into a bit of a vortex, and you can go down, 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 till you come out the other side of the bottom of the world, essentially, down the rabbit hole, you know. And whilst I like to keep a finger on the pulse of what is happening, I'm very conscious that of when I go too far, because it doesn't feel good. It starts to not feel good. Now, I'm not saying live in a world with just butterflies and rainbows and pretend everything's fabulous and fine, but what I'm saying is be very careful about your energy and what you're investing it in, and whether it feels good for you, whether it feels true for you, or whether you're actually just now giving your energy away to things outside of you that are actually not serving your greatest, highest good or growth, and are not conducive to your growth. Because that's the bottom line. It's all about us growing into our full selves, merging with these higher aspects of self. And what can happen is when you go down these rabbit holes and you're giving your energy away, you're plugged into all these other things, and it's literally zapping your energy. It's taking your energy away from inside of you, projecting it outside once again, and that's not serving you in any way. It's not conducive to your growth. So being very aware of what you're ingesting. Of course, this goes with food, water, exercise, all the things, because it's important for us to remember that our bodies are now changing. And this is something that hasn't been done with the human body before, where we are actually going to be able to access and merge in with our light body, which is when all these missing aspects of ourselves that have been separated and splintered off are all going to come back in. And that's when we are, if you want to call it, fully plugged in to source. Back to source. That's why I call it coming back home. It's coming back home to yourself. You know, we are that. You know, we're aspects of source that have come down to experience certain things and do certain things. So therefore, we're not separate to God or a higher power or source or universal intelligence. We are already that. It's just we forgot. We forgot through all the layers, right? Conditioning, programming, stories, We just forgot. And on a soul level, we agreed to do that before we incarnated. We knew what we were getting into. And we knew that we would be able to break free of it as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't have signed up for this mission and you wouldn't be listening to this video. There's no way. So your soul already knows how powerful you are, how amazing you are, how brilliant you are, and that your soul knew that you would be able to break through all of this, come out the other side, bring all these aspects of yourself back in, and all systems go. And literally rewrite the history of this planet from the inside out by just being here. You know, just going through this process, which is absolutely incredible. So, finding your center. So, what you ingest, so it's really about going in. Other things that are really, really great for this is obviously tuning out from what's out here and tuning in to what's going on in here. So picking up how you're feeling about things. You know, it's time to get really serious about that and really become aware of how you're feeling, and if you're not feeling safe and secure, why? Because everything comes from inside of you. You've got to remember what goes on inside of you. Your inner world is reflected to you in your outer world. So if you're not feeling safe and secure in here, if you're feeling threatened, there's something going on in here that's not yet cleared or rectified within your own energetic system. It could be something from a past life, it could be something from this life, but there's something that's being triggered in you that is yet to be cleared and released and seen for what it is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting triggered. And getting triggered just means you're having an emotional reaction to that doesn't feel good. It might be anger, it might be sadness, it might be grief, it might be pain. It's coming up to show you something. This is how we get to work with our bodies and our energetic systems. It's by listening. What's going on in here? It's the only way. We can't run anymore. We can't hide. We can't avoid it anymore. It's time to turn around and fully face ourselves. What's going on? And if I don't feel good, where is this coming from? Where's it coming from? And really beginning to delve in, sometimes journaling, meditation, going into a deep meditation. I usually meditate with particular hertz frequency music in the background. So depending on the purpose, you can just actually, a lot of the ones I do in my sessions are heart opening, like 963 hertz, like based on the solfeggio, so frequencies. For different chakra points, different energy centers, different purposes. Some of them are to open up your intuition, some of them are open up your heart, some are to release energy. So you can actually just Google that, find out which ones are suitable for what you're looking for, and I usually play that music in the background when I meditate and when I do the circles here in Bustleton as well. Which will soon be going live online as well. And I find that assists as well. So yeah, and so journaling, what's coming up for you, where could this be coming from, when have I felt like this before, you know, tracking it back. And of course, asking for help if you need it. you know, there's so much shame around this. There has been so much shame generated around people asking for help, assistance to clear things. You know, if you're trying and you can't clear it, you don't know what it is and you don't know where it's stemming from, reaching out to people and asking for help. That is the greatest act of self-love there is. It doesn't get bigger than that. And there's no shame in it. That's another story that we've been led to believe. Shame is a very lower based frequency vibration. Of course it is. There's no shame in it at all. In fact, the opposite is true, where it is the greatest act of love you can do for yourself. You know, through all of this, it is a soul's own journey. It's your own journey, but we also get to go through it collectively as well. So it's all about coming back to love for ourselves, irrespective of what's going on out there. You know, love, Einstein found this out at the end of his entire life, love is the strongest force there is. And this is how we're actually going to come through this, is by more and more of us actually opening up our hearts to love rather than contracting and closing them down. You know, that's what happens when we've been hurt. We shut our hearts down. What we need to start doing is come from a greater place of trust in the world, trust in ourselves, trust in the people around us, and opening our hearts even more to love. That's the answer, because that is who we are. That is what we are. We are love. That's where we come from. Pure, unconditional love. And for many of us, just bringing that to the planet is what we came for, just to be that vibration of pure, unconditional love for self and for others, and for Gaia as well. Just going to have a little sip of water. So other ways to find your center. So meditation, nature. The beach is my happy place. Being out, connecting with nature, feet on the earth, feet on the ground, anchoring in. Another thing you can do as well, which we will do in the meditation, is you can actually connect down to Gaia and send down through your root chakra down to her any energies, worries, concerns or fears. You can actually send that down to her, and she uses that as compost, and she will transmute that energy for you. So that's another beautiful way as well to bring you back to center, bring you back within yourself, is to really connect with Gaia as well, the planet. Trees, another fabulous one. Going up to trees, putting your third eye onto a tree, hugging a tree, and just spending a few quiet moments actually connecting, giving thanks to the trees. We wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't be here. You know, the trees have this whole underground network through all of them across the world. Like the fungi, the mycelium underneath, they're all connected through that. So trees can talk to each other all across the world. They can give nutrients to one another. So that is an entire network as well around our planet, giving thanks to the trees, connecting to those. And, you know, gratitude, huge one. Being grateful just for being here. At this point in time, this is like winning the lotto. It doesn't get bigger than this. Being here at this point in time is just incredible. Like what we are experiencing, what we will see, the changes out of this world. So being really grateful for that, you know, writing down things you're grateful for each morning. What are you grateful for? Even if it is, you know, breathing, you know, having a place to call home, you know, having shelter, having food. You know, there's a lot of people doing it really tough right now. And you know, so it's being grateful for the little things. And this is how we also start to shift the energy from more of a negative into a positive for ourselves. And you know, remembering that what's going on in here is reflected to us externally as well. So the more positive energy we can have flowing through us, and more gratitude for where we are and the time that we find ourselves in, and for this beautiful life that we've chosen. You know, we chose this. We're not here, you know, there's no one to blame, there's no one to shame. We don't have to prove anything, we don't have to justify anything to anyone. We chose this life. We chose to be here. So it's remembering that. Remembering why you're here. Remembering who you are in the fullness of who you are. So nature, meditating, breathwork's another good one. Yoga. Things that can really bring you back into the present moment. The now, not worrying about a potential future that may or may not actually happen, not worrying about something that happened in the past because that's done, being here, now. You know, in my experience, things change moment by moment. So it's being in that moment, in the present moment, and not projecting, you know, a potential unfavourable future for us, which of course is what's, you know, the mainstream channels like to do for us. You know, once again, the unsafe world and what's going to happen, and so very, very clever. So being present, finding your centre really is about coming back to a place of peace within yourself, within your heart. So being at peace, because when you're at peace is when you're vibrating at the most favourable frequency in order to attract more of what you want into your life. So when you're at peace and all of your energies are flowing beautifully through your meridian, through all your chakras, everything's flowing and moving, your masculine and feminine energies are balanced, your light and dark energies are balanced. I call that like the miracle zone. And that is where you can literally become almost like a magnet. And without doing anything, you might have experienced this before, without even doing anything, it's like people come in, opportunities come in, you know, it's like you're magnetizing these things to you without actually really having to do anything. And that is the miracle zone. So the more at peace we can get within ourselves, the more we can begin to, you know, the universe picks up on that frequency and vibration, and whatever you choose to manifest, or what you'd like to manifest more of, or bring more into your life, or I need to connect with that person, or can you bring me someone that can help me with this, in they come. So being at peace within yourself, knowing it's all going to be okay, because it is. Of course it is. You know, we didn't come here for it not to be. I didn't come here for it not to be. I know that much. I came here for this bit. It's all going to be okay. better than okay. In fact, it's going to be better than we could even possibly predict or imagine. So finding our center, being at peace within our hearts, and really beginning to open up our hearts even more to love and to higher frequencies and vibrations, if you want to call it that. You know, with what's happening on the planet as well, with all of the energies that are coming down, they're activating dormant aspects of ourselves and our higher hearts, our galactic hearts, so that we start remembering. And something I always tell myself as well, you know, when I attempt something new or, you know, in my healing modality or whatever, I used to think it was new skills and abilities coming through. What I realize now is they're not. It's remembering what you've done in previous lifetimes before. You've already done it. It's just bringing everything back online into this one. And if you've done it before, it means you can do it again now. So it's remembering who you are, what you can do. And the point I want to get across here is I'm no different to any of you. You know, being psychic, having really strong intuition, that's something that we naturally have. It was all just shut down. We just couldn't see it. You know, telepathy. Off this planet, that's how we communicate, through telepathy. And, you know, that's how powerful we are. That's how powerful. It's all been shut down. And now it's time to open it all back up, to open up all the pathways, to remember who we are. So if you've done these things before, then of course you can do them again here in this lifetime. And this goes back to the clearing of any energy that doesn't feel good within your system. You know, what is it trying to tell you? Where does it come from? Is it really true for you? You know, all the beliefs we've had about ourselves. One of the biggest ones collectively that is on the planet is the, you know, I'm not good enough. Huge, clever. Of course you're good enough. You know, it's just another story to keep us more easily controlled. You know, of course you're good enough. You're far beyond any of that. You know, it's not even a thing to think you're not good enough. You know, I used to, when I started out doing all of this and doing videos, I used to think, who am I to do this? You know, who am I? And what used to come through was, who are you not? Who are you not to? You know, it's like moving beyond the ego. You know, that's the ego telling you all the things you can and can't do. To keep us playing safe, to keep us feeling small, you know, in the little safety zone, the barriers of our previous existence. This is safe, we don't want to go out there. You know, what if someone says something, you know. What I've learned is everything you do and everything you put out there is actually more about you than them. And in my experience and my journey, it's just that stepping up time and time again and stepping into saying, yes, I'll do that. Not fully maybe even understanding how or why or what's this going to look like, but just saying yes, because that is a declaration to the universe that you're ready to take that next step into becoming a little bit more, or a slightly newer version or elevated version to the previous version of yourself. And that's how we grow. So, you know, all the stories we tell ourselves, none of them are true. None of them. looking at the beliefs you have, where did they come from? So many beliefs, and so many of my beliefs, I realized when I started examining them, were inherited from previous generations. When none of this was questioned, it was just the way the world was. This is how the world looks, this is how the world operates. None of them are true. We get to make up the rules now for our own lives. We get to dictate how we want our lives to be. We don't need that to come from anywhere outside of us. It comes from within us. So the more that we can go in and begin to feel and open up to the truth of who we really are, the more opportunities and the more growth we can start to experience here in this lifetime. The other thing I'll just say as well, with the energies that are coming through, very much about collaboration as well, finding your tribe, finding like-minded people, your soul family, however you want to call it. I'm finding these groups are coming together more and more. The other thing is, the more that we ascend, the more light that we start to bring in, the more we start to remember, the more soulmates, twin flames, these sacred unions are going to come in for us as well. Because each individual soul will start to remember who they are, why they came here. They'll be able to see so much more than what they could before. It's like the veil just gets lifted, and it's like, oh, I get it. I see you. And so that's really exciting as well. And that was always part of the plan as well, because when these people find one another through this sacred union, that also generates a beautiful and very intense and powerful frequency on the planet as well, through these union and merging, the souls merging back again. So that's really exciting as well. So hopefully you've learnt a little bit more today about finding your center, what that means, different ways to do it, and to, ultimately it's about starting to trust ourselves and our innate wisdom and knowledge to find the answers within ourselves. You are your own guru. And to really start to remember that. You wouldn't be here on the planet at this time if you didn't think that you could break through all of this. And if you knew that then how powerful are you? And when we get into this, when everything's merged and all the energy's flowing, all of our centers, we literally become unstoppable. We're unstoppable. And of course, that is the purpose of all the conditioning, programming, stories that we're told, is to stop us realizing and seeing this. So it is going to be a very interesting next couple of years, and I'm not going to lie, it will be a lot of disclosure, a lot of things that are going to challenge us. The truth has to come out at some stage, and there's going to be some really uncomfortable truths that come out when we start to understand that the world, has actually been a far darker place than what we originally thought or have been told or led to believe. But part of this process is all of this coming up to the surface to be released and healed and transmuted back to love. So So whilst that's the journey we've been on individually, we're also going to go on that journey collectively. So there could be a lot of challenging times for a lot of souls on this planet. You know, a lot of, you know, dark truths, home truths. So that's another reason for doing this video as well. And just reading and recognizing your own signs within yourself, within your body, of when it's time to tune out from that and give yourself that break and go within, and really just focusing on what's happening in here, always bringing back to self, not in an egotistical way, but in an energetic sense. How am I feeling? What's going on? You know, what needs to change here? And bringing yourself back to that place of peace. So without further ado, what I'm going to do now is we're going to get ready to do the meditation, go on the meditation journey. So before we start, I've had a lot of people say to me in sessions, mainly in group sessions, oh, I didn't see anything. You know, it is a journey, a meditation journey. So every journey I do is intuitively led and guided, so I never really fully know where we're going to go, what we're going to see, or what we're going to be released or receive, both. But I've had a lot of people say, oh, I couldn't really see anything, or that's okay. What I want you to focus on is not this, once again, it's your heart. It's how did you feel before the session, the journey, and how do you feel after? That's it. Feelings. How do you feel before? How do you feel after? And that is, you know, your heart is the navigation tool for your soul. You know, the heart knows the way. So it's tuning into that more rather than the logical, you know, oh, I couldn't see that, you know, getting out of this, getting back into the heart. So if you can't see things, doesn't matter. You're not meant to. You know, maybe at some future date you will, maybe you won't. Whatever you get out of this will be exactly what you're meant to receive. And it will be different for everyone. And that's okay too. So I always start sessions with gridding us in and centering us. I recommend that people find a nice comfortable space to do it in. You don't need to see me to do this. In fact, I close my eyes through this journey as well. So some people like to sit, some people like to lay down. Whatever feels good to you to receive, essentially, what comes through. So so we start by gridding in and anchoring in our energy, and then we open out, off we go, and we see what comes through and what, every journey is different. Every single journey is different. I always learn stuff, particularly in client sessions. It's really amazing. So we get to go on a journey together, which is really, really beautiful. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you now to get comfortable. If you need to have a little drink, do that. I'm going to do that. Now, what I've done as well before every session, I grid very carefully the space, the energetic space and container, calling in Archangel Michael and my guides. I also call in the 12 emissaries of light, who are the Ascended Masters, to carefully grid this space and container, just so you're aware. So only those beings that love us unconditionally, that are here for our greatest growth and soul's evolution, the next step in our soul's evolution can come through. Sometimes there'll be a portal that opens. That's another thing that I can do, where is like a tear through time and space, so that different beings like ascended masters, archangels can come down as well in the sessions. And yeah, it's really, really beautiful. So without further ado, let's get started. So make sure you're in a really nice, comfortable, quiet position. And okay, feeling the energies already. All right, so I'm going to get you to close your eyes. Clearing some energy to start with. Okay, so close your eyes. I'm going to get you to start by taking a nice, long, slow, deep breath. All the way from your root chakra, your base of your spine, all the way up to your heart. I want you to really hold it at your heart and then release it when you're ready. Okay, I'm going to get you to do that another time. So nice, long, slow, deep breath all the way from your root chakra up to your heart. This time really open out your heart. Really feel your chest expand. And this time release it with a sigh or an audible sound. So we just start to release the energies that you may be carrying and clear this space. All right, I'm going to get you to do that one last time. So all the way from your root, all the way up to your heart. Really open your chest out and then release it with a sigh or a sound. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start by putting some energy into your root chakra. So in your root chakra, I want you to imagine a beautiful glowing orb of light. I'm seeing gold, but you can choose whatever color works best for you. So in your root chakra, so at the base of your spine, there's this beautiful, brilliant orb of light. And each time you breathe in, it expands a little bit. Each time you breathe out, it contracts just a little bit. And each time you breathe in, it expands a little bit more than what it was previously. So with each intake of breath, this orb gets a little bit bigger, until eventually it fills your entire root chakra. Of course, our root chakra is where we get our sense of safety and security in the world. So really, really important to balance this first and release any energy that might be stuck. What I'm going to do is just open a little portal so any energy can now leave this container and be sent back to its original source of origin. So as this orb continues to grow, what's happening is the energy in your root chakra is transmuting, and the dark is, what I'm seeing is the orb starting to spin, and it's literally flicking off any debris, any darker energy that's been stored in there and stuck. So that's no longer required. Oh, okay. Beautiful. All right, so your root is now this beautiful glowing orb of spinning light. What we're going to do now is send down that beautiful beam of light down from your root, down through the Earth Star chakra, so down below you, and then we're going to send that down all the way into the center of the Earth, into the crystalline heart of Gaia, Pachamama. So as you anchor that in, just know she is the ultimate divine mother. She's always holding us. She is the energy and vibration of pure unconditional love. Oh, shifting a lot of energy. So any energy or any concerns or fears or worries, you can always practice this exercise and just send those down to her through that beam of light. And she'll use it as compost. She wants you to know how very loved you are here in this lifetime and all of your lifetimes. She's always here for you. She's got your back. There you go. So as we allow ourselves to be held by her, we begin to relax. And unwind. Now going to draw up her beautiful energy back up from the crystal heart, back up through that as a beautiful beam of light. Back up to the Earth Star chakra. Back up to your root. Where it's quite literally just infused with beautiful white light. We're going to continue that up to your sacral. There's a beautiful white light, now orb of white light. We're going to also send that into your womb space, your energetic womb space. So for men it's Sahara. This is your creation center. Whenever I see the womb space, it's like the nighttime sky where it's dark, but just with the twinkling lights of the stars, like the whole galaxy, the whole universe. So in that space is also where there's nothing, but where everything also exists simultaneously. All possibilities, all potentials. So that's now infused with light. And continue drawing that energy. You might feel that space starting to expand a little bit. Now I'm going to continue drawing that energy up to your solar plexus. Which is your true essence and core self. And then we're going to anchor that up to your heart. Beautiful. Okay, we're now going to call upon the energy of Father Sky to come down from the grand central sun as a beautiful rainbow light down through your soul star chakra, down through your crown, opening you up fully to source and the divine, coming down to your third eye and vision center, giving you clear sight to see. Very fine energy, beautiful. Down to your throat and freedom of expression. And into your heart, where it mixes and merges with the energy of the mother and explodes out into the cosmos. Connecting you back to everything and everyone. We're going to continue sending that beautiful beam of light down, the rainbow light down through your solar plexus, down to your sacral and womb space, down to your root, down through the earth star chakra below you, and then down, anchoring that back into the crystal heart of Pachamama. So we are fully gridded in, as above, so below. As within, so without. Energies are really, really beautiful. Very light, but very intense as well, very powerful. So what we're going to do is start by, I'm going to go in through your heart chakra, your heart space. So I'm going to start putting some energy into there. The first thing I'm feeling as I'm putting energy into the heart space is a sense of sadness. And grief. I feel there's this collective grief. It feels like there's a sense of like loss, like time has been lost. It's like, you know, for all this time, I didn't know, I didn't understand, I couldn't see. All these beautiful aspects and pieces of myself. It feels very much like a sense of collective grief, like on a soul level. I believe today we're going to do an energy clearing for all of you on a collective level. It definitely feels across multiple lifetimes, past lifetimes. It's like we've been kept in the dark for so long. And there's a sense of, well, shame, but there's a sense of, yeah, definitely grief. Loss of life. Loss of time. Like wasted time. And there's a sense of blame there, like blaming of self. I should have known better. I should have done better. I should have been better. What this is about is forgiveness of self. So what I'm doing is just really tuning into this energy. That's why I feel the energy, I feel the emotional charge, and then what I do is go right in deep to start to really explore it and bring those emotions out. So if you're also feeling these emotions, that's fine, that's perfect. It's okay if you're not, that's fine and perfect and okay too. It feels like this is an energetic core wound of some kind that is carried, very much carried within each of us on a soul level, very deep, I want to say cellular level. This is a very deep clearing today because of all the gateways are open through this 222 portal. Yeah, it's really deep grief. What I'm feeling as well and seeing is this is, it feels very much like this is also something that Gaia may be feeling on a, you know, she's also a consciousness. It's like, I feel like this is also what she's been carrying as well, energetically, for quite some time. Certainly as she continues through her own reawakening process.
yeah, definitely this sense of loss, like I should have known better. Why did I let this go on for so long? And very much about time that's been lost. There's definitely an energy here right beside me, like a masculine energy, very strong masculine energy. We're being held in this container by this energy. Almost feels like Father Time, I want to say, has stepped in just to hold us here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to track this energy back to its original point of origin. It's very deep grief. Okay, I've actually tracked it back to the fall of Atlantis, which is when a very advanced civilization was living here in harmony. Then things got out of control. And through greed, corruption, it's a history lesson, right? And when Atlantis went under, that was also when we dropped down to the third dimension, third density here on this planet. So that was when Gaia de-evolved, you could say, descended on her timeline. It was catastrophic. Lots of trauma. I believe that is what we're here to transmute today. And this is all anchored very much in our hearts as well. But it's important for us to remember that whilst this is history repeating itself, it is also an upward spiral. This time, that what happened then, this is where we flip the script. So we will not be destroying ourselves. That will not occur again, because we take the lessons that we've learned from that and we use that to inform where we go to from here. So it's like we're going in an upward spiral now. It's putting everything back in its rightful place. So instead of blowing ourselves up, the opposite is true. So it's like recorrecting that timeline. So instead of de-evolving, we're actually going to ascend, if that makes sense. But there was so much death and destruction. So much loss of life. But it had to be that way. Which goes back to what I said before about needing to experience the darkness so we could understand the light. It's always been this way, these cycles of continual expansion and contraction. This is an expansion cycle that we're in now. That was the contraction, the shutting down, which is how a lot of these dark energies came in the first place. That provided an opening or a gateway or a portal for all of them to actually come and take over the planet. Oh. Right, let's
let's see what needs to happen here. So what this is a massive clearing of grief through that timeline, because it's time. It's time now to take the lessons, bring that aspect back, but let go of the rest and say thank you with gratitude for what we learned through that. Many of us had lifetimes on Atlantis. Many of us, and many of us that did it back now in this incarnation, this lifetime. Okay, for what's coming through is this specific reason, so we can rewrite the history books, rewrite our timeline, Gaia's timeline, and literally turn it around from the dark to the light. Gaia was a Garden of Eden, and she will be that once more. A planet of light, just pure light and love, just pillars of light everywhere. And that is what will be returned to her once more. Okay. What I'm doing is just starting to move some of the energy in this container and get it shifting. As we quite literally make this course correction through humanity's timeline. Bringing back what's been lost, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, and bringing all of that back to the present, minus the grief, the pain, and the suffering. For we don't need that anymore. We've learnt from that experience, and that aspect of this process is no longer required and way too heavy and dense to be carrying that any further through the timelines from here on in. Oh, okay. What I'm seeing at the end of that timeline is this beautiful golden chalice. Absolutely magnificent. Extremely powerful. Containing the wisdom of the ages. Not only from the Atlantean timeline, but prior to that as well. It's like it's gone through all of these stages, but it was locked in there because of the grief and sadness. Yet it's ready to be returned to us now, as we do this clearing and transmutation of the energies on this portal at this time and space, which is why this session needed to occur today. So there's a massive portal opening above us. And what I'm seeing is this brilliant white with gold flecks beam of light coming straight down through our hearts and then projecting all the way back to that golden chalice. So So it's coming down to the heart, going back to that chalice, and from the chalice going back up to the divine. So it's making this trinity, this triangle. 4. Releasing persecution contracts from the past. 4. And the fear vibrations. Igniting new flames of remembrance deep within our hearts. As we now call upon this chalice to be returned to us in this present timeline. So this chalice is now coming all the way back through that timeline. As it comes back, it's literally rewriting that energy stream from dark to gold. It's just so the chalice is now in front of you, and it's literally being filled now with this molten gold inside the cup. And as the cup fills, the cup runneth over. And there's just liquid golden light just flowing out of this cup. And it's actually flowing all the way down over you. Whoa. And inside this golden light is just codes and codes and codes that are unlocking ancient past, your lineage, deep cellular memories, bringing back what's been lost. Since the beginning of time. So now coming down is just like fluttering pieces of gold, all coming down through the portal above your crown and just going all the way over your body. It's settling onto your skin. You may feel it on your arms. Just like pieces of gold light. What I'm seeing in your hearts is this sacred flame of remembrance just being ignited in your hearts. Codes of divine remembrance for the truth of who you really are, who you came to be here in this lifetime. All is not as it seems. So as the codes, as this light settles over your arms, it's actually going in, being absorbed into your body, into your arms, and going in at a very deep cellular level. Oh, what I'm seeing is your DNA, and I'm seeing aspects of your DNA. It's like this gold square leaf is just, like just anchoring into, like a light filament into your DNA, and just let there be light. It's very high frequency energy coming through. We've got Archangel Michael there as well. I'm also seeing Saint Germain, who is an ascended master. So we're being held in the arms of the divine masculine. The arms of pure, divine, unconditional love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and they're like showering us with beautiful light as well, assisting us to bring back into wholeness and unity divine masculine and feminine aspects. Knowing that we are powerful, we are strong, we are the chosen ones. Bringing us strength, courage, wisdom, knowledge. As these codes continue to settle over your bodies, also got the sacred feminine here. We've got Lady Nada here as well, Jesus' counterpart. Or Lord Sananda. It's Jesus' higher self, ascended master. So very much held within the poles of the sacred masculine and feminine divine energies. As we allow ourselves to receive, receive, receive. As we remember that contract to the past is done, this contract is done, this contract is done. This also goes back to your past. It's done. We don't need to keep rehashing the past. It's time to take the lessons, let the rest go, with love and gratitude and understanding for what we have learnt and received. As we open up fully to the divine and say, I am ready. What I'm seeing is a gold beam of light coming all the way down through your crowns, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, anchoring all the way back down into the crystalline heart of Gaia, like a rod of golden light. Coming out from this golden rod of light is like neural pathways, connections across your body. Which is an installation of the templates for your light body activation. Ooh. Clearing away any debris, energy debris that is no longer required, and setting the foundations for a new path and trajectory for you from here on in, here in this lifetime. Closing of karmic contracts, bringing everything to completion. Harmony, unity, peace, love. So just releasing the last bits of energy out through the portal, no longer conducive to our growth. So what we've received is what I affectionately call a light transfusion. Beautiful golden light codes. What I'm seeing as well in your hearts, it's activated another aspect of your higher heart. I see it as a diamond, a crystal prism in your heart. So another facet of that has been reignited. Allowing you to merge with another aspect of your higher self, calling that back in now, into this time and space, as we remember and reawaken to the truth of who we really are here in this lifetime. So I'm still seeing a lot of codes and light coming down. So just settling gently over your bodies. Wow. Certainly feeling very light, lots of buzzing. It feels almost like all of my cells are vibrating and buzzing at a higher frequency. It's like they're alive, I want to say. Heart's definitely feeling activated. Whoa. Turned on, ignited. So what I'm going to do now, these codes are going to continue coming through. I'm going to say for the next 36 hours. So what I'm going to do is pre-seal this energy container so you continue receiving and integrating these codes with ease and grace and flow, held within the safety and confines of this beautiful, beautiful, safe container that we have created here today. I'm also just going to check through your chakras and make sure everything is running clear, clean, no blockages. Yeah, they're all turned on. They're beautiful. They're just balls of spinning light. Oh, okay. Feeling a lot of it in the crown as well. Very open. So beautiful. All right. What I'm doing is just smoothing energies. The other thing I'm going to do is actually just clear your auric field for any impurities. Get your Taurus flowing, toric field. Wow. Which has expanded dramatically. Seeing like a crystal in your third eye as well. It's been activated. Whoa. Lots of energy in here. The final message in this container is just to remind you of how divinely you are loved, how divinely you are protected here in this lifetime, and you are always surrounded and supported and guided by the most glorious beings. You're not alone. You never were. You have the most beautiful angelic teams of light around you and have been blessed by the Ascended Masters here today that have joined us. And we thank them very, very much for their service today and for being part of this session, as well as Archangel Michael, Father Time. I'm so grateful and honoured to be able to receive these codes of light and love, and to also be able to serve in this way. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what I'm going to get you to do when you're ready is just start slowly coming back into this space. Just take your time. Wow. really, really beautiful, amazing completion of a contract. Very deep healing, very deep process. Wow. Oh, there's still a lot shifting and moving, so it's really important, as I say to all of my clients or people in group sessions, that to just really give yourself some time and space after these kinds of sessions and clearing and healings to, like, whoa, to allow yourselves to integrate all of this into your systems. You know, please feel free to share anything that you may be feeling. If you feel comfortable in doing so, either here in the live or in the replay, you can just hashtag replay after and share a little bit maybe about what you received, how you're feeling. Always recommend drink lots of water. Grounding is always good. If it feels good to go sit under a tree or maybe go for a swim or feet in the earth, and just allow yourself just to be, you know, and give your body and energy some time to fully integrate everything you've received. That was really intense but beautiful, very light. You know, these are the codes that are coming through. They're just exquisite, quite literally out of this world. They are out of this world. So, but coming back to this world. So yeah, just being really kind to yourself. Sometimes, you know, I recommend maybe not right now, but down the track, you know, some journaling if that feels good to you. Just giving yourself time to process and you know, just receive. You know, understand that the past is done now. We don't need to keep reliving it and rehashing the horrors and the traumas of the past. It's not part of where we're heading. It's not part of our future. You know, that time is done now. It's done. It's like we see you, we acknowledge you, we thank you, and we release you with love. You know, it's done. It's moving forward from here. Where to from here? Well, into the light, into the love of who you really are. So I'll check in here as well tomorrow and just see how you're all integrating the energies, and just be mindful that they will continue to come through for, I'm being told, 36 hours or so. So just, you know, being kind to you and just giving yourself that space to integrate all that you've received. I'm also going to just show you, I pulled a card before this session, and the card is perfect timing. Look at that beautiful angel there. It's like the clarion call, right? Look at that. I'm just going to read what's on that card. It says, now is the perfect moment for you to act. It sure is, on your inspirations. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. How beautiful is that? And how apt is that? I'll make sure you can see after the amazing session we've just had. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of this beautiful free and live transmission, and enjoy integrating all of these beautiful codes, and I look forward to hearing about your experiences and sharing more with you very, very soon. Aww, wasn't it? I know, it was so beautiful, wasn't it? So Annie's just said it was so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I'm actually really moved too. It was just glorious. So, yeah, it is all so beautiful. You know, these energies, this is who we are. This is what's coming back. You know, the rest of it's just noise. This is finding your center, coming back to self. Oh, I'm so glad you're on cloud 9. So glad, Mama. There you go. That's quantum healing. Beautiful. Yes. Wow. Yeah, just wow. So yeah, I'm so honoured to be able to say it in this way. And you know, it's one of the things I came here to do. It's part of my soul contract. So now I get to do that with all of you. So it's really, really beautiful. And I hope you all have the most beautiful rest of the day. And whenever you listen to this, I hope you feel just as good as I do now, and Annie does. So thanks, Mama, and yeah, I'll see you real soon. Lots and lots of love. Bye for now.